Hello and welcome to AgriTalk. As always, this is where we bring you experts in the industry who help us to understand more about some of the issues that are affecting the agriculture sector. And today we are joined by Wachira Kagwongo, who is the CEO of the National Potato Council of Kenya, and will be helping us understand more about the regulations which were enforced a little while back on the Irish potato farming here in the country. Welcome to the show. We are so happy to be having you today.
Thank you, Susan.
Yes.
Asante sana.
So start us off by telling us a little bit about yourself. We need to know who you are, where you're coming from, what do you stand for?
Thank you. My name is Wachira Kagwongo, the CEO of National Potato Council. I'm an agricultural economist, and I've done a lot of work in agriculture in many institutions. But currently I'm working with the National Potato Council of Kenya. National Potato Council of Kenya is a PPP, public-private partnership organization, which brings all the stakeholders in potato industry together to work together. That means public and private. Public institutions include government organizations, starting with the Ministry of Agriculture, AFA, KEFIS, CARO, ADC, all these. And then county governments that produce counties that produce potatoes. They are represented by 2 counties in the board. We have Nyandarua, which represent Eastern and Central region, potato producing counties, and then Elgeyo Marakwet in the board. They represent counties that produce potatoes in Rift Valley and Western Rift Valley. Okay. Now, the organization was created about 10 years ago. After realizing that although potato is next to maize in terms of cash crop and food crop, being a cash and food crop, it was not being given importance that it deserves in terms of monetary policy and also institutionally. Yeah. And you'll find that even donors and development partners were not supporting it as much. And therefore we were created to create to do advocacy and also provide a point of reference where if you want to know anything about potato, you just go to National Potato Council and you know who is doing what, where, and how. And that's how now we brought all the stakeholders together, and we have been working together, and also we identify challenges in the industry and try to address them. And that's how we have come up with challenges such as shortage of seed, issue of marketing, regulation, and information. And you'll find that most of the activities that we are undertaking now are trying to address those issues so that we have all the players, all the businesses in the industry doing proper business with profit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the law which has been enforced lately about on the Irish potato value chain. And before we even get much deeper into that conversation, we will be watching a story that was done by one of our journalists in Meru County, where people were being arrested because of contravening this law. So let's first have a look at this story.
The business of Irish potato has been quite booming in the county of Meru and other adjacent counties, and also most counties in the Rift Valley. But the farmers have been counting losses. Of course, they have been incurring the losses at the stage of packaging. And so Agricultural Food Authority, in conjunction with the County Commissioner of Meru and of course the security agencies, have now launched the nationwide crackdown on the middlemen who have been fleecing farmers and just contradicting the prescribed packaging rules of the 50 kg bags.
The legal way of packaging Irish potatoes is 50 kgs per bag. But then you find that we have some if you can call them so, cartels or brokers who insist that the farmers must use the extended bags for packaging. So that you find a farmer will have to, by force or by duress by these cartels, package the Irish potatoes in a way that makes farming of Irish potatoes not worthwhile. So what we have done, we have constituted a county Irish potato regulations implementation committee headed by the county commissioner. The CEC Agriculture, the county government is a member, and also the AFA, that is Agricultural Crops Authority, are members of that committee. Again, we have subcommittees at the sub-county level, headed by the deputy county commissioners. Yesterday and today, we are doing sensitizing both the farmers and the traders about these regulations. So that from tonight, now we are going to start the crackdown. That is arresting and punishing and prosecuting those who are going to flout those regulations.
A farmer who harvests potatoes and is supposed to package his potatoes in 50 kg bags, but a broker or a member of a certain cartel comes to interfere with the business in the farm by forcing, actually the language is forcing, by forcing the farmer to extend the 50 kg bag by even about 60 kilograms. We are saying that is outright theft. Actually, that is robbery with violence. Violently robbing a farmer of his property. It is serious, it is irregular, it is illegal. And that is why we are now sending a strong message, actually a riot message, a riot act. We are reading to those cartels and the farmers that their days are now numbered. We are starting a serious crackdown on anybody, any farmer, any cartel, any member of any illegal outfit trying to illegally benefit from this trade, that we are with them and the law will catch up with them.
But the middlemen are actually saying that they aren't to blame. They are saying that these are willing buyer, willing seller arrangement where they are not actually to blame for the losses the farmers incur. And they have actually really they disagreed with the officials. Of course, the officials have been here at the Gakoromone open air market where the business of Irish potato has been quite booming. And so the security agencies have been here since morning just to see, to have a first-hand look at what really happens here, if at all the Irish potato that reaches here from the farms is well packaged in the prescribed 50 kg sacks. But remember, the middlemen have said that it's the national government to blame and not them, but the farmers. Of course, this is a local arrangement between the businessmen and the farmers so that they could just actually just telling the national government to ensure that they put rules in place to ensure that they do not actually infringe on their rights as pertains their local arrangement with the farmers as to how they'll be packaging their produce.
Ni kwa nini national government? Juu biashara ya viazi ni masikizano ya mkulima na mbiashara. Unanielewa? Na nikienda na hii gunia akikataa nimshonee hivi, anasema nataka ile motoro. Kuongeze pesa. Kwa hivyo mngeongea na wakulima kwanza kabla ya mkuja kwetu.
Labda waweke sheria waseme kwa mkulima asipitisha pesa fulani, kama ni 50 waseme 50, sema mkulima asiuse 50, na italingana na shinda ya mkulima. Kunaye anataka fee yake, mnakubaliana willing buyer willing seller. Maneno ya packages watu washe.
Hata nikitaka kuweka kwa kilo 100, hiyo si mbaya kwa sababu tunaeleanwa. Unaona? Hata nikija na ngunia gani bora tunaelewana na mkulima.
The authorities now say that they will now be moving to the farmers themselves to ensure that they carry out the sensitization exercise so that the farmers can now really maximally get the profits from their produce. They will be starting from the farm throughout the transportation and of course the destination, because remember that the Wakulima market and in Nairobi and other markets of course in the larger towns have been the greatest consumers of the Irish potatoes, and they are saying that it will not only stop at the Irish potatoes, but also will extend to the carrots, where they are saying that the carrot farmers have also been incurring losses that are now being blamed on the businessmen who are actually getting the produce from the farms to the markets ready for consumption.
So definitely from that story, we get a lot of conflicting reactions where the traders feel like this is a space they don't want any interference because it's a case of a willing buyer, a willing seller. Why do you think it is important that farmers keep to the 50 kg packaging?
Susan, you agree with me, anywhere where we have trading, there must be some standards. For example, if you go to the shop and to buy eggs, and then you're given a tray of 29 eggs, that's not correct. Yeah. So there must be some understanding that when you're buying a tray, it is 25 eggs. When you are buying a crate of soda, it is 20, is it 25 or 24? I think 24,
24, yeah,
bottles,
true.
okay? And all of them are either 300 mls or 500 mls, according to standard. So any trading must have such standards. And the reason the industry has been pushing for the standards is because for a long time, farmers have been losing. They've been exploited by the trading of an imbalance trading. We have had a situation where the one bag weigh between 110 to 260 kilograms. I'll tell you the problem with that 260 kilograms. There is so many problems. One of them is that the farmer doesn't know how much is in that bag. And when you move from one county to another, it changes. When you move from one season to another, it changes. So even the farmer can't tell how much he harvested. Even the county, they can't know how much potato they have from their county. Even the country can't tell how much. So the issue of standards and data is very important. True. Number two, the farmer is exploited because he is selling something he doesn't know.
Let's first, in fact, let's just have that discussion first of all. Do you feel like farmers have been educated about all of this? Do you feel like the exercise for informing them the benefits of this law, do you feel like this was done efficiently?
Let me tell you the genesis of the law. The law is farmer driven. It was demanded by the farmer, not yesterday, not the day before yesterday, over 10 years ago. They have been pushing for the law, and they understand. And it is the counties that we have worked with and worked with the government and AFA, because AFA is the one that does the regulation of food crops, to produce this law. So, and in addition to that, we did what we call public participation, as required by the Constitution. We went to all the potato producing counties. We got the views of both farmers, traders, and other stakeholders. And all this evidence is there with AFA, recorded, signed. They are all there. So what you are finding now, the shouting you are finding is normally coming from some traders who are benefiting from that disorder. And they are very good because they make enough noise. You may think it's the farmers because they pretend to be farmers. And even last time, the 2014, it is the same traders who went to court and purported to be farmers. And they always say they are farmers who are not consulted and all these things. But the reality is that it is farmer-driven, farmers who are consulted, and we went through all the stages of lawmaking. So farmers know, and we continue to enlighten them about it, even those who did not participate, if there is any who didn't know. But most of them, they knew, they wanted it, and they are happy. The only thing is that there is misinformation, that farmers are being told they must register. If you don't register, nothing like that.
And how was this exercise carried out? How were the farmers involved?
The farmers there was public notice through the media, newspaper, and radio. And then in the county, they were informed by the Ministry of Agriculture. And we had meetings in each potato producing sub-counties where farmers were called and they gave their views in terms of the weights, in terms of the pricing. And one more important thing that is not mostly captured, pricing must be by weight. You sell by weight, kilograms, and that's very important. Actually, that is the cornerstone of the whole regulation and benefit of the farmer. So they all contributed to the regulations, and also the need for registration. Although it's not compulsory for a farmer to register, the farmer may register, but he is not obliged, or she is not obliged to register. But because of the benefit of registration, we are encouraging them to register. And I'll give you an example. We have what we are calling e-voucher system, where farmers are giving subsidies to potatoes and other crops. How can government plan on that investment if they don't know how many farmers are producing potatoes.
Sure.
These days we are encouraging farmers to use potato-specific fertilizers. We are encouraging them to use chemicals that are meant for potatoes. Now, how do we plan? How does the government plan this subsidy if we don't have data? We have also lobbied, and potato was allowed in what we call agricultural, National Strategic Food Reserve, just like maize. Now, this is good because it offers markets to the farmers. Again, how do we know how much potato is available? Yeah. Okay, we have lobbied, and potato was agreed in what we call warehouse resisting system. Now, again, how do we work if we don't have data? Yeah. So data is important, and that's why we're encouraging farmers to register so that we are able to plan. Everybody has to plan if you want something to work. And we normally say failing to plan is planning to fail. Yeah.
Okay. So at the end of the day then, how do you think this law is going to achieve the objective when clearly from the stories that we are seeing on the ground? Because you know what you're saying is, it seems like, yeah, you did your homework well, but when you go to the ground, it's like these people are very oblivious of what is going on. Because I don't see why a farmer would agree then to sell their potatoes with an extended bag, which obviously is beyond 50 kg, probably at a price of the 50 kg bag, and they feel they are okay with it. Where do you feel the loopholes, the gap? Where is the gap?
Actually, the gap, or the medicine of all these is continuous enforcement of the law, plus enlightenment. Yeah. And enlightenment, we are continuing. We are actually visiting farmers, enlightening them, and other stakeholders. We are continuing to do that. But the law has to continue to be implemented. And we also should understand that the people who are making the biggest noise are the beneficiary of the confusion that was there. Who are the traders?
And the cartels.
Generally, and the cartels. Yeah. And we know, you have seen the minister has been trying to fight cartels in all agricultural sector, because they are organized, they are enlightened, they know how to do things, they know how to fight back. So that's why they are able to do that. And that's, although they are few, they may appear like it's almost their own industry making noise. But they are just few, but they know the switches to touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are the other solutions you think that we can give to farmers, such as giving them maybe an access to a different market? I think that is the one thing that would really bring a real change, if that is what we really want to see.
Susan, I can assure you we are doing a lot of that. As National Potato Council, we are actually linking farmers direct to the market outlets. Yeah. We have what we are calling via the so-called digital platform, where the farmer can register and then indicate how much potato of what variety he'll be harvesting when. And then we link them to the buyers. We are even supporting them more by ensuring that they are able to procure inputs, the correct inputs, through the system, the same system. Even seed. For example, last season we helped many farmers. They were able to buy seed through the system via so-called digital platform, where they book and pay, and then it is delivered to their locations. We call them pick-up points. So when they are booking, they indicate where they'll pick. And working with the logistic company, we were able to pick seed from Kisima, that is in Meru, from Agricole in Nakuru, and distributed it to wherever farmers are by booking. So after that, we are encouraging them also to do what we call contract farming again, and that one will be very useful. And with the contract farming, it is by kilo. And the price is predetermined.
Okay, let's first of all discuss about that. You called it what? The platform?
Via so-called digital platform.
Yeah, but
yes.
I'm feeling like this will only be beneficial to just like a section of farmers, because most of our farmers are not technology, they don't have these devices. They are not perhaps even conversant on how to use some of these applications on phone. So how are you catering and just making sure that even this section of farmers who maybe, I don't want to call them, they've not gone to school or anything like that, but they may not even have the time for that. Like for them, they're used to somebody coming and buying their potatoes at the farm gate, and they are laid, they have no choice, because at the end of the day, they want to bring in the income back home. So what are you exactly doing so that the majority of the farmers who are huko ndani mashinani, we know that is where most of them are. Most of them are not with smartphones. Most of them are not watching television every day. They are toiling. They are working hard on their farms. And at the end of the day, then we have these smart people who have all the information, who have done the homework and know where the potatoes, where they're gonna go sell the potatoes. Sorry, then they come and buy at a very low price, and the farmer end up not even advancing in life. Yet they are working so hard.
Good. If you look back, some years back, maybe more than 10 years or so, if somebody told you M-Pesa, everybody will have M-Pesa, you'll say no way, okay? We'll have and use and know how to use it. Even Ashosho today knows how to use M-Pesa, wherever he is now. So the same thing. And what we have done, with the time, they'll be able to get these all these facilities. Now, Via Soko digital platform is available in 3 forms. It is available as USSD. It is available as an app, downloadable from the mobile phone, and also available from internet. Now, it is an e-commerce ecosystem. So, when it comes to buying and selling, you can only use an app. You may not be able to use USSD.
Yes.
But registration and getting extension information and all these, and even booking for soil testing, and also for spraying, because we are training young people to provide the spraying services, you can order that with USSD.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to procurement of inputs and selling, you have to have an app. And this is where now we are bringing in young people, young farmers. We are encouraging farmers to work in groups, and within the groups, they get the youngest person who is a bit conversant and has a smartphone. And that person is the one who is doing some of these on their behalf. And is not doing it for free. It's a business for them. They get some commission. For any transaction they help farmers achieve, they get some commission. And this is how it is working. And that way it's going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's discuss about the other content of this enforcement. So there is the other one of the quantity. Is it the quality check?
Standards,
The standards
sorting,
across,
grading.
Yes.
Yes.
So exactly what are you exactly looking at achieving in that particular?
I'll give you an example of the disadvantage of our potato not being of good quality and just being mixed in always, all varieties. Now, different varieties are good for different utilization.
Yes.
We have some varieties that are good for table, mukimoni nini, stew. We have those that are good for crisps.
True.
We have some that are good for chips, radical chips and chips, okay? Now, it is important for you to sort them so that you don't mix them. That's the first thing. And also, when you are packing them, you need to sort them by sizes. Yeah, because when you mix them, if somebody buys and then they take it through the machine, it will not work well.
Yeah.
Because it is set to handle a certain size of potatoes. And some of these attributes we are talking about are the ones that are causing some of the franchise to import radical chip from Egypt and other places. And also because of some varieties, okay? So we need to sort to be able to provide the quality that is required by specific market outlets, so that there is value and there is a premium price. So that's why you need to sort. The other thing is that those big bags, they used to be carried by 5, 6, 7 people. And because of the weight, they would drop it and drag. Dropping and dragging potato, because it's a living tissue, it affects the sugars and it starts spoiling. And that's where you get a lot of it getting damaged. So, and that's how we were losing about 13 billion from waste from potatoes every year. So there's a lot of advantages of sorting, grading, and also packaging in such a 50 kg. Even you can lift a 50 kg, but before it has to be lifted by many people and many men. Now it's gender sensitive.
Yeah, true. So let's talk about the certified seeds. How accessible are they to the farmers?
Certified seed has been a big issue for a long time, and it's an area that we are also trying to support. And one is that we never produce enough. Two is that it is expensive and very far removed from the farmers. So that's why we have had this intervention of helping farmers access it through the digital platform. So that if you are a farmer and you want 5-10 bags, you don't have to travel all the way alone, buy a potato, look for pickup. It's very expensive.
It is. Yeah.
So, but when we consolidate the orders and we bring close to you, it means it's cheaper. It makes it cheaper because we are using economies of scale. We will just use one big truck, 10-ton truck and all this, and come dropping to different destination based on the pickup points selected by farmers. So that helps. You don't spend much time. You don't have to hire a pickup and all these, and it helps. Number two, we are supporting youth and other investors to invest in seed potato production. Also, we have quite a number of technologies, like what we call apical cuttings, which reduces the number of seasons that you have to take to produce enough seed. We are working with CARO and CIP, International Potato Center, and IFDC, GIZ, and others to support farmers and young people to adapt these technologies to increase the amount of seed available. So we are working on it. It's not something that can be solved overnight because it requires some expertise, and people have to be trained. They have to be connected to KEFIs and trained so that they follow the due process. Because again, if you do it wrongly, then the potato seed will be used to spread diseases. So it has to be done correctly.
So we're going to be coming back to that issue of that law again. I think we also need to talk about the licensing, because you also say that all the actors, in fact, all the actors on the value chain, this is including the transporters, the processors, that they need to have licenses. Then we're going to be looking at how that is achievable, why you're going that direction, and how possible that is. That if somebody like me today, if I decide that I want to be a potato trader, that I will need to have a certification. Yeah, so we're going to be looking at why that is important. But before that, we're going to be taking a short commercial break, but don't go too far.